Diego Maradona, 1986. Diego Maradona's Hand of God goal against England in the 1986 quarter-final is the most famous villain moment in World Cup history. Maradona jumped with goalkeeper Peter Shilton and punched the ball into the net. The referee missed it, the goal stood, England were robbed. Maradona's response: "It was a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God." Peak villain behaviour. 4 minutes later, Maradona scored arguably the greatest World Cup goal ever, dribbling past 5 England players. Same match, 2 goals, one as a cheat, one as pure brilliance. English fans will never forgive him. Argentines see it as revenge for the Falklands War. Maradona cheated on the world's biggest stage and became a legend. Harald Schumacher, 1982. West German goalkeeper Harald Schumacher committed what might be the worst unpunished foul in World Cup history during the 1982 semi-final against France. Patrick Battiston was running through on goal when Schumacher charged out and demolished him. No attempt to play the ball, just a brutal collision that knocked Battiston unconscious, broke his jaw, damaged his vertebrae and knocked out 2 teeth. The referee didn't give a foul, no red card, no penalty. Schumacher stayed on, West Germany won on penalties. When asked about it later, Schumacher said, "If that's all that's wrong with him, I'll pay for the crowns." French fans have never forgiven him. Zinedine Zidane, 2006. The 2006 World Cup final was Zidane's farewell. France were level with Italy, Zidane had scored a penalty, perfect ending in sight. Then Marco Matarazzi insulted Zidane's sister. In the 110th minute, Zidane headbutted Matarazzi square in the chest. Red card. France's captain was sent off in his final ever match. France lost on penalties. Instead of lifting the World Cup, Zidane walked past the trophy. Was Zidane provoked? Yes. Did Matarazzi deserve it? Probably, but Zidane let his team down in the biggest moment. Luis Suárez, 2010. Uruguay vs Ghana, 2010 quarter-final, last minute of extra time. Score 1-1. Ghana have a free header going in. If it goes in, Ghana become the first African nation to reach a World Cup semi-final. Suarez, standing on the goal line, punches the ball away with both hands. Blatant handball, red card, penalty to Ghana, but Asamoah Gyan missed. Uruguay won the shootout. Uruguayans see Suarez as a hero. Everyone else sees him as the villain who robbed an entire continent. Suarez celebrated wildly when Gyan missed, pumping his fists like he'd scored. Cynical, shameless, effective. Ghana fans will never forgive him. Suarez doesn't care. Luis Suárez, 2014. Suarez gets 2 entries because he's that special. During Uruguay vs Italy at the 2014 group stage, Suarez bit Giorgio Chiellini. A full teeth-bared vampire bite on Chiellini's shoulder. The referee missed it. Uruguay won, Italy were eliminated. But cameras caught everything. FIFA banned Suarez for 9 international matches and 4 months from all football. This was the 3rd time Suarez had bitten an opponent. 3 separate biting incidents. What kind of professional footballer bites people? Frank Rijkaard, 1990. West Germany vs Netherlands, 1990, round of 16. Historical rivalry, inevitable chaos. Frank Rijkaard and Rudi Völler got into an altercation. Both were booked. Then Rijkaard spat at Völler, a full gob of spit in Völler's curly hair. Both were sent off, but as they walked off, Rijkaard spat at him again. Twice. Rijkaard was vilified, especially in Germany. He later apologized, but in Germany, he'll always be the man who spat at Völler. David Beckham, 1998. Beckham went from England's golden boy to public enemy #1 in seconds. At the 1998 round of 16 against Argentina, Beckham flicked his leg out and kicked Diego Simeone while lying on the ground. Petulant, childish, unnecessary. Red card. England lost on penalties, and Beckham was blamed for everything. The backlash was brutal. Effigies outside pubs, death threats. One newspaper printed a dartboard with his face. Beckham needed police protection. Years later, Beckham redeemed himself with that free kick against Greece in 2001. But in 1998, he was despised. Cladio Kenia, 1990. Cladio Kenia became one of the most hated players at the 1990 World Cup. At Italia 90, Kenia scored the goal that knocked hosts Italy out in the semi-final. The goal came from a Maradona assist, silencing 60,000 Italian fans. Kenia's long blonde hair, wild celebration, arrogant swagger, Italians despised everything. Italian fans saw Kenia as Maradona's accomplice in destroying the host nation's dream. He'd eliminated Italy on home soil, celebrating like he'd won the tournament. Brazilian fans also despised Kenia after Argentina eliminated Brazil. For a generation in Italy and Brazil, Kenia represents everything they hate about Argentine football. Maro Tasoti, 1994. Italy's Maro Tasoti committed one of the most blatant fouls in World Cup history during the 1994 quarter-final against Spain. Luis Enrique was chasing a through ball when Tasoti, beaten for pace, raised his elbow and smashed it into his face. Broke his nose, blood pouring down his face. Deliberate, violent, right in front of 70,000 people. The referee didn't see it. No red card, no penalty. Tasoti stayed on. Italy won 2-1. FIFA banned Tasoti for 8 matches after reviewing the footage, but Spain were already out. Spanish fans have never forgiven him. Matarazzi, 2006. Matarazzi provoked Zidane into the most famous red card in World Cup history. During the 2006 final, Matarazzi pulled Zidane's shirt. Zidane made a sarcastic comment. Matarazzi insulted Zidane's sister. After Zidane headbutted him, Matarazzi went down theatrically. Zidane was sent off, France lost, Italy won. French fans despise him. Matarazzi's response? He doesn't care. He later joked he'd rather have Zidane's talent than his sister. He knew exactly what he was doing. Raldo, 2002. Brazil's Raldo is responsible for one of the most embarrassing dives in World Cup history. During the 2002 group stage against Turkey, Hakan Ünsal kicked the ball at Raldo by the corner flag. The ball hit Raldo's leg. Raldo grabbed his face and collapsed. Hilariously bad acting. The ball clearly hit his leg, nowhere near his face. The referee bought it and sent Ünsal off. Brazil were already winning. Raldo was one of the best players on the planet, yet he felt the need to dive like a Sunday League cheat. Thierry Henry, 2009. This one didn't happen at the World Cup itself, but it decided who got there. During the qualification playoff between France and Ireland, Henry controlled the ball with his hand, twice, before crossing to William Gallas, who scored. The referee missed it. France qualified. Ireland were eliminated. Henry clearly deliberately handled the ball. Ireland's chance to reach their first World Cup since 2002, robbed by blatant cheating. The Irish FA demanded a replay. FIFA refused. Henry's response, "I'm not the ref." No apology, no remorse. Irish fans have never forgiven him. Nigel de Jong, 2010. One of the most violent, unpunished fouls in World Cup final history. Netherlands versus Spain, 2010 final, 28th minute. De Jong flew in with his studs at chest height, planting them directly into Xabi Alonso's ribcage. Absolutely brutal. Alonso went down, gasping. The replays showed De Jong's studs making full contact in what looked like a martial arts move. Should have been a red card. The referee gave a yellow. A yellow. For one of the most dangerous challenges in World Cup final history. De Jong stayed on. Netherlands lost 1-0. Spanish fans will never understand how he wasn't sent off. Arjun Robin, 2014. Arjun Robin is one of the most talented players of his generation, but also one of the most theatrical. At the 2014 World Cup, his diving reached peak villain status against Mexico. Mexico were leading 1-0. Then, in the 94th minute, Robin burst into the box and went down under a challenge from Rafael Marquez. The referee gave a penalty. Replays showed minimal contact. Robin later admitted he had dived earlier in the match, though he insisted the late penalty was legitimate. Netherlands scored, equalised and won 2-1. Mexico were heartbroken. Mexican fans absolutely despised Robin. He's the player everyone loves to hate, too good to need to dive, but does it anyway. Pepe, 2014. Pepe has a long history of violent play, and his 2014 World Cup red card against Germany was peak Pepe chaos. Germany were demolishing Portugal 4-0 when Pepe and Thomas Müller got into a confrontation. Müller was on the ground and Pepe leaned over him, headbutting him. More of a forehead press, but aggressive and stupid. Müller went down clutching his face. Pepe was sent off. Portugal lost 4-0. Pepe's been sent off countless times for violent conduct, a classic villain. Carlos Tevez, 2010. Argentina vs Mexico, 2010, round of 16. One of the most blatant offside goals in World Cup history. In the 26th minute, Lionel Messi played a long ball forward. Tevez was clearly offside, miles offside. He controlled the ball and scored. Mexican players immediately protested, pointing to the giant screens showing the replay. Tevez was obviously offside. The referee let the goal stand. Mexico were furious. The stadium screen kept showing the replay, making the injustice impossible to ignore. Argentina won 3-1. Mexican fans have never forgiven Tevez. The incident became a symbol of everything wrong with refereeing before VAR, from Maradona's hand of God to Suarez's bite, from Schumacker's assault to Zidane's headbutt, from Beckham's kick to de Jong's kung fu kick. These players gave us moments we'll never forget. Some were scapegoated for moments of madness, others were serial offenders who earned every bit of hatred, but all of them are part of World Cup folklore, the pantomime villains who make football's greatest tournament even more dramatic. The World Cup wouldn't be the same without its villains. If you enjoyed this breakdown of football's most notorious World Cup villains, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into football history, controversies, and the stories behind the biggest moments in the game. And let me know in the comments, which World Cup villain did I miss?